Back in 2011, I served as the chairman of the National Speakers Association's $1 Million Speakers Group, a group of speakers that have to prove through P&L statements that they actually earned at least $1 million a year in speaking-related income. And it's the only group they've ever had like that in the history of the National Speakers Association, where you had to prove how well you were doing. 39 of us qualified that year out of 5,000 members. 39 out of 5,000. I chaired that year. I've been a member ever since the group's inception in 2009, I believe it is. But I was chair that year, and I spoke at the general session. And the question I got from people after that, I toured all over the country after that, doing free speeches for NSA chapters around the country. I think I did 13 or 14 from San Diego to Boston, just in the States. And I think I did one in Canada, actually, but that was it. But the biggest question I got was, what's the difference between a six-figure speaker and a seven-figure professional speaker? See, the six-figure speakers, of course, didn't make the $1 Million Speakers Group. So what is it that these seven-figure speakers do that's so different than the six-figure speakers? And some people said, well, the seven-figure speaker's just that much better on the platform. The answer is usually no. Six-figure speakers, if you're making six figures, if you're making $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a year, in other words, you're a pretty good speaker, chances are. You have to be. But seven-figure speakers do something six-figure speakers usually do not do, at least in my experience. And that's this. Six-figure speakers go into a corporation and they give a speech, and then they leave. And they go to another corporation and they do it again. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Seven-figure speakers are another level of business savvy. They go into a multi-billion-dollar corporation, they give a speech, and then they stay in that corporation typically for 3 to 5 years. My longest was 9 years. My shortest was 7 years. And I spent 25 years of my career staying within roughly 30 different major companies, where I did millions of dollars in sales in all of those companies over the course of 25 years. And I'm not unique in that way. The seven-figure speakers go into companies and then they leverage the context. They do what's called horizontal marketing in an organization. That's a subject for a whole nother video, because it's not that, it takes some time to explain that. But bottom line is, they stay and they don't leave. The speakers that are just going in and speaking and doing keynote speeches, running around, are basically a hamster on a wheel. It's not really a business, it's a job. And a business is when you go into a company like Johnson & Johnson and you stay there for 7 years and you do all kinds of different speaking for all kinds of different companies they own, divisions they have, districts they have, areas they have, regions they have. All of these organizations within the big structure have budgets, typically in the hundreds of thousands of dollars per year for training. And that's how people become seven-figure speakers in the non-celebrity category of professional speaking. I train my speaker apprentices to do this. And that's how my number one speaker apprentice this year will make $6 million. My number two will make $3 million. Okay, so it gives you an idea. Once you know how the business really works at the high level in terms of money, it's just a matter of following the yellow brick road. That's what I teach my speaker apprentices. If you're interested in applying for apprenticeship, we don't take that many people every year, but we do take some. Go to speakersapprentice.com, speakersapprentice.com. Check it out, fill out an application, and we'll get back to you.